Hi everyone. Okay, welcome to lesson 3 pre-work video. So this one's going to be a pretty short one, but first things first, make sure you have your have-outs. So make sure you have notebook paper, and yeah, I wrote on the slide or a document, but I want y'all to take notes with me on notebook paper too, and I'm going to be taking notes on paper as well, and so I'll be taking the notes with you and then showing you my paper during this video, okay? So if you don't have paper, go ahead, pause the video now and go get that. Okay, so today we're talking about we're in literature, and we're talking about figurative language and mood, okay? So first, some in-text vocab. So get your pen or your pencil. And our first in-text vocab is leotards. So we're going to write that down. First things first, always write your name. So write your full name and the date. I'm just going to write, what day is it? For me, it's a different day, but you guys are going to write whatever day that you work on this. So the first word, leotards. Leotards. And a leotard is a garment worn for gymnastics and dance. It looks like a one-piece swimsuit. Sometimes it's longer sleeves. So a garment, or I'm going to write uniform, for gymnastics or dance performance. And it looks like, I'm going to put in parentheses, looks like swimsuit. Looks like swimsuit. Okay, and this right here is a picture of one of my best friends, Jenny. She is a college Division I athlete who is a gymnast at Arizona. So here's my notes so far. Okay, I just have the word and then the definition off to the side. Okay, and next, I'm going to write an example sentence. Okay, so right under the word leotard, you're going to write EX for example. And then I'm going to write, let's see, Jenny always wears her favorite white leotard when she competes. Okay, so it's looking like this, and this is how the rest of the words are going to look too. So you have your word off to the side, and then the definitions on the other side, and then the example. Okay, the next word, go ahead and pause if you need more time. The next word is paraded. So we're going to write that on the left side, paraded. Oh, and under leotards, I want you can underline leotards. I want you to write what part of speech is it. So leotard, person, place, or thing. It's a noun. So we're going to write N for noun. Okay? Just like that. Okay, paraded. Paraded is a verb. It's a verb in past tense. And paraded means to walk in a way to get attention. So we're going to write walking in a way to get attention. And if you use context clues for this word, if you didn't know what this word is, it's like a parade, right? Parade is big and showy and, in the middle of the street. And so with that, you can kind of deduce what the word actually means. So these girls are parading through, sort of rolling up this crew. Okay, the next word, and an example. Let's see. So we're going to write example, EX, and then if you guys have seen Mean Girls, like the popular girls, or there's a very common scene in TV shows where the popular girls will parade through the halls and everyone kind of parts and just stares at them in awe. So we're going to write a sentence. I'm going to write a sentence like that. The popular girls or boys can parade too. The popular girls always parade through the halls in fancy clothes. Okay, so again, that's the structure. I've also got verb written off, verb written off to the side. And our next word is suffocated. Okay, so I'm gonna skip a line, write suffocated. Make sure you pay attention to spelling. Spelling is important. When we spell things wrong, it gives people an excuse to dismiss our writing. So we always want to pay attention to those little details. So suffocated just means feeling trapped. Feeling trapped, okay? And suffocated. What part of speech do we think this is? Suffocated. Is it an adjective? We can look it up. Just to be sure, let's look it up. So suffocated, right? The feeling of being trapped is an adjective, okay? Because an adjective is a word that describes, and this is describing how a character is feeling. So we're gonna write adjective, and the abbreviation for that is ADJ. Okay, so adjective, and then we're gonna write an example sentence for that. So if you see, like, in this meme or in this GIF, this person's saying, "I feel like I'm suffocated," or "I feel like I'm suffocating." So like, it could be a very like anxious, maybe a physical reaction, like, "Oh man, like I'm having an anxiety attack," or I like a physical feeling of like not being able to breathe. But in this case, it's more of a feeling, okay? So it's like if there's a lot going on in your life and it's just chaotic and you can't even think, it's then that you could say, "Oh, I feel suffocated." Or if people are just like all trying to get your attention, saying like, "Oh, Mishu, Mishu, Mishu." If everyone was like barraging me with questions, I could say like, "Oh, I feel suffocated," like one at a time, you know? So something like that. Maya felt suffocated when all her classmates surrounded her after she was called to the principal's office. Okay, so you can copy my sentence or you can pause the video and come up with your own. Either one is fine. So I wrote, Maya felt suffocated when all her classmates surrounded her after she was called to the principal's office. So they're all surrounding her, asking her questions. Oh, like what happened? Why are you called there? So I imagine she could feel suffocated if that did happen. Okay, so that's suffocated is adjective. And your paper should look like mine. Okay? All right. We're going to, under the definitions, okay, you're going to write key points. So now we've moved on to our key points. I'm going to underline that. Our first key point is figurative language. So please write that down. Okay, and figurative language is when the author uses words in a way that goes beyond the literal meaning. So, when the author uses words in a way that goes beyond literal meaning. And since these are your notes, feel free to use some abbreviations if you want, okay? But this is what mine look like, right? The next word is metaphor, and metaphor is a type of figurative language. So I'm going to draw an arrow from figurative language and then write metaphor. Okay, kind of like that. And then I'm going to write the definition for metaphor. A comparison between two unlike things or concepts. So, a comparison between two unlike things / concepts. Okay? And then our next word, which is also a form of figurative language, so we're going to draw another arrow coming down from figurative language and write simile. Be careful about the spelling for this one. I always mess this one up. Simile. Okay, simile. Only has two eyes. So a comparison between two unlike things using the word like or as. Okay, and these two are different, and we're going to give some examples to clarify that, but just write the definition down for now. So a comparison between two unlike things using like or as. And you can put, you actually should put two little air quotes around the words like and as. Okay, so that's what that looks like, because it's using the word like or as. So put a little air quote around like and as. And then our next word, next key point, is mood. What is mood? You guys should know this one. But mood is how we, as the audience or reader, feel after reading a text. So this mood is how you feel after reading something. So I'm going to write that. How you, comma, the reader, feel after reading a text. Okay? That's what mine looked like. How you, as the reader, feel after reading a text. So, let's look at a few examples first, before we dive into some more intricacies. He crept into the room quiet as a mouse. What do you think this is? Is it figurative language? I think so. Is it a metaphor or a simile, though? He crept into the room as quiet as a mouse. So it's probably, since it's using the word as, we know it's a simile. Okay? What about this next one? Love is a battlefield. Is love actually like a bunch of like people fighting in a battle with weapons? No, but it's a comparison between two unlike things, and it's not using like or as, but it's straight up just comparing them. So based on that, we know it's a metaphor. Okay. You can go ahead and write some of these examples down underneath the key points. So under simile, I'm going to write EX, quiet as a mouse. And then under metaphor, love is a battlefield. Okay? Love is a battlefield. Okay. Okay, and then mood. These are some examples of mood words. Okay, gloomy, romantic, ominous, that means mysterious, or cheerful. Okay, so these are feelings that you as the reader feel after reading a text. All right, go ahead and pause the video if you still need to copy anything down or add any details. I'm going to move on. Yes, so in your notes, write your own example of each of these words. And yeah, so pause and write some examples off to the side. All right, hopefully you should have some room like I do on the side, okay? You can write examples in this space. Okay, so here are some examples of the difference between simile and metaphor, okay? So a simile says her heart is like gold, okay, like. A metaphor says her heart is gold, okay? Her heart isn't literally made of gold, but we're using figurative language, right? So it goes beyond the literal meaning. Or if you say like, she is golden, that would be a metaphor, okay? But if she says, she is like a golden star, you're using the word like, that's a simile, right? The world is like a stage, we're using the word like, simile. The world is a stage, that's a quote from Shakespeare, that's a metaphor, okay? He eats like a pig, simile. He is a pig, that's definitely meaner, that's a metaphor, okay? You are like a rock, not sure what that means, but it's a simile. And then you are a rock, again, not sure what that means, but it's a metaphor. Your eyes are like sunshine, simile. You are my sunshine, or you are sunshine, is a metaphor. And then poor as dirt, remember, simile is using like or as. So poor as dirt is a simile. And then sea of sand, if you say his thoughts are a sea of sand, or his thoughts were a sea of sand, that's a metaphor, okay? But if you said her thoughts were like a sea of sand, then it becomes a simile because you're using the word like, okay? Draw a t-chart. So I need a new page now, but I'm drawing a t-chart. I'm gonna write simile on one side, and then metaphor on the other side, okay? So simile and metaphor. And then I want you to write at least 2 of these examples down. You can just copy it down or you can make up your own. Okay, so pause the video and do that. All right, and then just to go into it a little more. So 2 of the most famous methods of figurative language are simile and metaphor. Both of them are widely used by writers to create mental images for their readers and to make the text more lively and interesting. So when you have a simile, you're saying something is like or as something else. When you paint a picture by saying something's a metaphor, you're saying something is something else. And we can see this here. So go ahead, pause the video, and you can read through this. You know, her skin was white as snow. That new singer is a diamond in the rough, so we're using the word is. Thanks for mailing those letters. You are an angel, okay? Versus she's like an angel, or he's like an angel. So you can see the differences here. And yeah, if you see like and as, instantly you know it's a simile, okay? Next, tone versus mood. So both of these are elements used by authors in literature, and you can understand these if you understand the purpose and theme. It'll be easier to understand these words. But tone is basically the feeling or the atmosphere the author has set in the story. So tone is all about the author's intention, what the author wants you to feel. And then mood, which is the word we're talking about, is the feeling the reader gets when he or she is reading the story. So mood depends on what you feel. So it's not about the author, it's about you. So tone is determined by the author. Write this down. So I'm going to write tone versus mood, tone versus mood. And then under the word tone, I'm going to write this part, determined by author. By author, okay? And then think about tone like music, like a musical tone. It's what you hear from the author, okay? So what you hear from the author, or what the author wants you to hear, okay? So I've got my little tone versus mood chart, and then I'm taking notes under each word. And then under mood, I write this, determined by reader, okay? Determined by reader. That's you. I'm put in parentheses, you. So think mood equals mind. So that's internal, right? Your mind is in your head. So it's what you feel, okay? So mood equals mind is what I'm writing down. And then I'm going to draw an arrow and say internal, comma, what you, writing that in all caps, feel. Okay? So, right, so that's what that looks like. Okay. And that's it. We made it to the end of the video. This one's super short. So your exit ticket is to take a picture of your notes and turn it in on the Google Classroom. And that way I'll know you've watched the whole video. And then secondly, do the check for understanding. So this will help you and me know, if this will help you know if you really are grasping these concepts or if you need to go back, watch the video again, look at some more examples. So go to this link, and if you just go to the Google Classroom, I will have the link attached there, and you can just click on it so you don't need to type this long URL into the browser, okay? So that's your exit ticket. 2 things. Turn in the notes on Google Classroom, and then click on this quiz, this short quiz to check for understanding. And the link is also in the Google Classroom, okay? That's it. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. I can't wait to see you on Tuesday in class, okay? And as always, reach out if you have any questions or you need help. Yeah, and if you did not get to watch the video from last week, please do that and finish the classwork from Thursday. So lesson 2 classwork. It should be pretty short about characterization, okay? And I don't know if there's anyone who still hasn't watched the first pre-work video, but if you're watching this right now and you have not watched the first pre-work video, please go and do that because I talk about class expectations, and I just want us to all be on the same page about those expectations. I don't want to have to lose class time to restate those, okay? Thanks for watching. Bye.